How to improve your listening skills. Alex often found himself lost in conversations, a silent observer amidst a sea of English words. His mind would race, struggling to process the rapid-fire sentences, leaving him feeling frustrated and isolated. Improving his listening skills felt like an insurmountable mountain, an endless challenge that mocked his earnest attempts. Every attempt to speak felt like pulling teeth, the words jumbling, the grammar elusive. He longed to express his thoughts, to connect, but an invisible wall of apprehension held him back. This was not merely about learning English, it was about reclaiming his voice. He had tried various methods, from apps to textbooks, but nothing seemed to click. The common advice felt generic, lacking a personal touch, a real pathway. His dream of fluent communication remained just that, a distant, unattainable dream, clouding his daily interactions. One evening, staring at his reflection, Alex made a firm decision. He needed a fresh approach, a comprehensive English study plan for talking, something structured, actionable, and truly effective. No more half-hearted attempts, this time, it would be different, a focused mission. His initial focus was undeniable: how to improve your listening skills. He understood that comprehension was the bedrock of any real conversation. Without truly understanding, speaking would always remain a hesitant, disjointed process, a constant uphill battle. He started with short English stories, playing them repeatedly, trying to grasp every nuance. It was tedious at first, like wading through thick mud, but he persisted. Each new word understood, each phrase deciphered, felt like a tiny victory, fueling his determination. Podcasts became his constant companions during commutes and chores. He didn't just listen passively, he actively engaged, pausing to look up unfamiliar vocabulary. This deep immersion was slowly, steadily expanding his auditory comprehension, making conversations less daunting. The next crucial step in his plan involved English story reading. He realized that reading wasn't just for vocabulary, it was for internalizing sentence structures and natural phrasing. He devoured simplified novels, then moved on to more complex narratives, broadening his linguistic horizons. Reading aloud became a daily ritual. He'd read entire paragraphs, listening to his own voice, correcting his pronunciation. This seemingly simple act was a bridge between passive understanding and active speaking, building confidence in his verbal delivery. He even started mimicking dialogues from his favorite shows, trying to match intonation and speed. This active imitation helped him internalize the rhythm of English, making his own speech sound more natural and less robotic, a significant improvement. Despite these improvements, the thought of how to talk to anyone in English still sent shivers down his spine. The fear of making mistakes, of sounding foolish, was a powerful deterrent. He knew listening and reading were foundational, but speaking was the true test. His mentor, an online language coach he discovered, emphasized the importance of English talking practice. It wasn't about perfection, she explained, but about consistent, low-stakes engagement. The goal was to build muscle memory for communication. The initial advice was simple yet revolutionary for Alex: start talking at home. He began by narrating his day to himself, describing objects around his room. It felt silly at first, but it was a safe space to experiment with language without judgment. He recorded these monologues on his phone, then played them back, cringing at first, then critically analyzing his own speech. This self-assessment provided invaluable insights into his pronunciation and grammatical errors, allowing for targeted improvement. The "how to take first step for talking" was essentially breaking the internal barrier. He realized that the first conversation didn't have to be perfect, it just had to happen. This mental shift was more significant than any grammar rule. He then moved to talking to inanimate objects, his plants, his mirror. He imagined various scenarios, practicing common phrases and responses. This prepared him for real interactions, reducing the shock of spontaneous conversation. One day, his coach suggested how to talk to people in pairs. This was a crucial transition from solo practice to interactive communication. The thought was daunting, but he knew it was necessary for genuine fluency. He joined an online language exchange platform, nervously searching for a partner. His first few conversations were awkward, filled with silences and stumbles, but he persevered, reminding himself of his ultimate goal to learn English. His first regular partner was Maya, from Canada. Their initial talks were slow, but Maya was patient and encouraging. They discussed simple topics, hobbies, daily routines, food. Each conversation chipped away at Alex's shyness. They set small, achievable goals for each session, practicing specific tenses, discussing a recent news article. This structured approach made their English talking practice incredibly effective, transforming his fear into growing confidence. The breakthrough came when Alex realized that mistakes were not failures, but stepping stones. Every error was a learning opportunity, a chance to refine his understanding and express himself more clearly. His listening skills had dramatically improved. He could follow complex discussions now, understanding not just the words but the underlying meaning and tone. This newfound comprehension empowered him immensely. The English story reading had also paid off. His vocabulary was richer, and his ability to construct natural-sounding sentences had blossomed. He no longer translated word for word, but thought directly in English. He started participating in online group discussions, graduating from one-on-one sessions. The dynamic environment pushed him further, forcing him to think on his feet and respond quickly to multiple speakers. The transformation was palpable. Friends and family noticed his newfound confidence. He was no longer the quiet observer but an active participant, eager to share his thoughts and experiences in English. Traveling became a joy, not a source of anxiety. He could navigate airports, order food, and strike up conversations with strangers with ease. The world felt smaller, more accessible, thanks to his language skills. He even found himself helping other beginners, sharing his journey and offering advice. He emphasized the importance of starting small, of being patient, and of celebrating every tiny victory along the way. His initial English study plan for talking had evolved into a way of life. It wasn't just about learning grammar rules, it was about embracing the language, making it a part of his daily existence. He realized that true fluency wasn't about sounding perfect, but about being able to communicate effectively, to connect with people from different backgrounds, to share stories and ideas. Alex's journey, from a hesitant beginner to a confident communicator, was a testament to perseverance and a well-thought-out strategy. He proved that learning English is a marathon, not a sprint. His story became an inspiration to many. He showed that anyone, regardless of their starting point, could achieve their language goals with dedication and the right approach, building strong foundations. He often reflected on those early days, the frustration and the silent battles. Now, those memories served as a reminder of how far he had come, a powerful testament to his unwavering commitment. His English study plan for talking had morphed into an intuitive, flexible system, adaptable to any new learning challenge. He continued to listen to diverse content, perpetually refining his comprehension skills. He still dedicated time to English story reading, exploring new genres and authors, which continuously enriched his vocabulary and deepened his understanding of cultural nuances embedded in language. The emphasis on how to improve your listening skills remained paramount. He understood that listening was an active skill, requiring constant engagement and an open mind to new accents and speaking styles. Talking practice evolved from structured sessions to spontaneous interactions. He sought out opportunities to converse, whether with international colleagues or tourists in his city, embracing every chance. His ability to how to talk to anyone in English was no longer a dream but a reality. He could navigate complex discussions, express nuanced opinions, and even engage in light-hearted banter comfortably. The journey of how to talk to people in pairs had taught him empathy and adaptability. He learned to adjust his speaking style for different partners, making communication more effective for everyone involved. Starting talking at home had laid the psychological groundwork. It normalized the act of speaking English for him, dissolving the internal barrier that many learners face when taking that monumental first step for talking. He firmly believed that the initial awkwardness of taking the first step for talking was the most crucial hurdle. Once overcome, the path to fluency opened up, revealing endless possibilities for growth. Alex's success underscored the idea that consistent, small efforts accumulate into massive improvements. Each listened podcast, each read story, each spoken word contributed to his monumental transformation. He now found immense joy in the little things, understanding a foreign film without subtitles, participating confidently in an international video call, or simply helping a lost tourist with directions in English. The Learn English aspiration had transformed into a lifelong pursuit of knowledge and connection. He understood that language learning was a continuous journey, always offering new horizons to explore and master. His very interesting story was about more than just language. It was about personal growth, resilience, and the power of believing in oneself. It was a narrative of turning challenges into triumphs. He often shared his practical tips, emphasizing that consistency beats intensity. Even 5 minutes of focused practice daily was more effective than sporadic, hours-long study sessions that quickly led to burnout. He advocated for finding topics that genuinely interested the learner. If you love science fiction, read sci-fi in English. If you enjoy cooking, watch cooking shows in English. This made the learning process enjoyable. Alex's journey highlighted that emotional barriers are often more significant than linguistic ones. Overcoming the fear of judgment was just as vital as mastering grammar rules or expanding vocabulary. He also stressed the importance of creating an immersive environment at home. Labeling objects, changing phone settings to English, and using English for daily tasks all contributed to continuous exposure. His transformation was a beacon of hope for countless others struggling with language learning. He proved that the path to fluency is within reach for anyone committed to the process, step by painstaking step. The once silent Alex now engaged in lively debates, told jokes, and shared his life stories in perfect English. His world had expanded exponentially, richer and more connected than ever before. He had truly learned how to improve his listening skills, not just academically, but organically, by immersing himself in authentic content and engaging with real speakers, every single day. The English study plan for talking wasn't a rigid structure, it was a flexible guide that adapted to his evolving needs, always emphasizing active participation over passive consumption, a dynamic framework. From hesitant whispers to confident pronouncements, Alex's voice had found its freedom. He no longer feared mispronouncing words or making grammatical errors, he simply communicated, effectively and joyfully. His story resonated deeply, inspiring countless individuals to embark on their own English language learning adventures, armed with newfound hope and a clear, actionable roadmap, much like his own. He often concluded his talks by saying, "The first word is the hardest, but every word after that builds your bridge to the world." This simple philosophy encapsulated his entire, remarkable journey. Alex's success was not just about learning English, it was about opening doors to new cultures, new friendships, and a global community that awaited his confident, articulate voice, truly a great feat.